Hello again everyone, Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the 12th house posited in the 10th house in the natal horoscope. Well, as most of you know, the 12th house is connected with hidden enemies or adversaries, restrictions, limitations, seclusion, solitude, things that we've done in private or secrecy, our sorrows, connected with self-undoing, prisons and hospitals even. And we look at the 10th house, that's connected with notoriety, standing in the community, career, our ambitions, dominant parent, usually the father, authority figures and supervisors. Well, anyway, let me get started. The first thing to look for is that I think the one obvious statement in this, or conclusion, is that this person may encounter restrictions and limitations in connection with their career ambitions, their livelihood, perhaps in connection with notoriety. Perhaps they feel something's inhibiting them from reaching success, from reaching the pinnacle. There might be some restriction in connection with a parent or some dominant authority figure. Maybe they feel there's something lacking. In some isolated cases, it may indicate maybe an early departure of that dominant parent, but I would say more often than not, it just may be that lack of that dominant figure, that person was lacking in something, at least in their mind and their perception of that dominant parent, or that relationship maybe dissipates to some degree at some point in his or her life. We'll look at this too, in that the 12th house is connected with things that are private, that are done in secrecy. So it could be possible that this person is very private in connection with 10th house matters, as far as the relationship with their dominant parent, with their supervisors, their career. These things may be something that's not talked about. How they feel that they fit in the community, their standing, at least on their perception perhaps. Those are things they might really be maybe somewhat guarded, or things that they just generally refrain from talking about to a lot of people. This can indicate that that self-undoing might be connected somehow with their career, their livelihood, their ambitions. The self-undoing might maybe connected with other 10th house matters, such as maybe the need for some kind of recognition or notoriety or accolades or what have you. And look at this placement as well, that the 12th house is connected with hospitals and prisons, and it's likely maybe at some point in his or her lifetime this person some experience they had at a prison, not necessarily being incarcerated, but it is possible, maybe working at a prison or at or a hospital. Maybe there was an influence there that inspired this person to pursue some kind of career aim or objective. We see this placement, and perhaps an experience in prison or hospital might have impacted the relationship with the father or the dominant parent. Perhaps might have impacted some relationship with the supervisor at their job. At some point, maybe one of the people that they meet in a prison and or hospital may wind up becoming an employer, or might hire this person, for example. Look at this placement as well, and the 12th house is associated with this, as I've stated, seclusion and solitude. And perhaps this plays a role in this person's career objectives. Maybe this person takes an online course, maybe in their pursuit of their career aims as far as their livelihood goes. Maybe does a lot of extensive searching online as far as maybe even making in the selection process of what direction they want to go in life. This could be somebody that would like maybe their need for privacy and introversion is injected into their career, or perhaps it might wind up becoming perhaps a hindrance, and if they have some way about them that's connected with a preference to staying inside more as opposed to outside, this could limit this person's career options possibly. So that is one negative as far as this placement goes. And look at this placement as well, that perhaps we look at the 12th house as secret enemies is associated with this, and this with the 12th house, and it's possible that one or more secret enemies or adversaries might impact this person's career, perhaps through some kind of slander or scandal in the worst case scenario. As far as maybe telling lies about this person or something at some point, or maybe it's somebody in their career might actually become or be a secret enemy that they're not really 100% cognizant of. This person might, perhaps a secret enemy impacts their maybe their, not just their career, their standing in their community, perhaps even a relationship with their supervisors, with the dominant parent, perhaps. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the ruler of the 12th house posited in the 10th house in a natal horoscope. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be dissertating and talking about the ruler of the 12th house in the 11th house in a natal chart. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis on a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because a person astrologically is the sum of all their components in their natal chart, and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.